Hi, everyone. Welcome to Yoga for Everybody. My name is Skylar Ramirez. We have about a 1 hour session today. And today in particular, we are going to be working with the belly, working with the stomach to improve digestion, absorption of nutrients, and excrematory function. So absorbing nutrients and ridding the body of toxins. We have a lot of twisting poses to do today. I encourage you to maybe move with half your effort so that our spine and our back doesn't get scared or seize up on us. We will have some different abdominal contractions that we're moving through. So if you've already eaten today, just go easy on those belly contractions. To get started, you're welcome to sit or go ahead and lie down as we begin every session with a conscious, mindful breath. So take both hands over your chest. Let's take a moment and feel for the energy of the heart. Anahata. Anahata, literal translation is unstruck. The color of the heart in color therapy is green, bright green. So as we lay those hands over the heart, maybe start to feel that your body softens, your shoulders softens, crown of the head, soles of the feet, even the low back softens so that this energy opens in the chest with the whole body soft, opening us up to give and receive unconditional love. This love represented by bright green light. Let's just notice what we feel in our chest. Notice any emotions that might be with us in this moment. Notice any body sensations, any places that may be speaking to you in your body. And maybe draw in a deep healing breath. Pull that energy in, the embodiment of love, receiving love. Bring in that green light and allow that green light to move through your whole body. The most transformative and healing power we have is love, the catalyst to healing and change in the body, both mind, body, and spirit. It is love. That is the frequency we tune into in yoga therapy. Inhale big in through your nose as much as possible. And then maybe exhale from your throat. If there's any stress, let's let it go with an audible sigh. You can even let your shoulders rise up a little bit on that inhale. Maybe bring the breath into your heart, pull your heart up into your hands, and then let go. From wherever you are, let's take those hands up and bring them overhead, stretching from the sides of your ribs. If you're lying on the floor, you can reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe act like you're climbing a rope so that we kind of pull the shoulder blades away from the center of the spine, opening up the muscles behind the heart. Sometimes those can get really tight. When you're ready, let's all relax our hands down beside us. And we're just going to take this into a gentle sway of the knees. If you're seated, just let your trunk of the body go left and right a little bit. So this is an effortless twist, introducing just a little bit of rotation through the trunk of the body. If you're lying on your back, let your knees sway left and right, introducing that gentle rotation to wring out the nervous system. This is also helping to wring out the digestive tract. Oh, I heard that pop. That was me. Let's come to any still point. If you're in a seated position, go ahead and lie down on the floor for now. And let's all meet with our knees bent. From this bent knee position, we're hugging our knees in towards the chest. And this can be one of the simplest, most healing poses for the gut and for the belly. Just simply bringing those knees in soft, wrapping the hands on the sides or backs of your thighs. Let's look up at the ceiling, neutral head and neck. Now let those knees go left and right, very gentle sway. There's gentle pressure into the low back and the kidneys. Of course, if there's any pain with this, you might want to make the movement smaller, or you could put some blankets and pillows under your body. In a perfect practice, you'd all be able to do this class from your bed, a memory foam mattress. Let's come to a still point. Hug those knees in. Let's take the knees out as wide as the armpits. So we're stretching the lymph nodes and helping circulation in the lower body. Maybe go ahead and just sort of flutter the feet. You could even take the legs up and roll out your ankles. Bring the knees in again. Let's lower the feet down. Set the feet down, seeing that they are at the width of your hips. From here, let's lay the hands down beside us. Taking our left knee up, let's take our right hand over to that left knee. And maybe just gently pull that left knee towards your belly button. So it's going to be an isolated, gentle twist in the hip and the low back. It's not a big rollover twist. Keeping our right foot on the floor, just gently drawing over into that hip region. Let's bring that left knee to center. Release the foot down, right arm down, right knee in. Point that right toe, take the left hand onto the right knee or onto the outside of that right knee. Pull that knee over just a little bit, and a little goes a long way. So I'm only stretching my right hip over enough for my right heel to touch my left thigh. I'm not crossing the leg over. Trying to isolate that stretch right here in the hip. If we go too much further, it creates a twist in your low back, and we're just trying to get that energy isolated right here, the muscles that move over the tailbone and sacrum. Let's take that knee to center, lower the foot down. One more time on each side, left foot up, right hand to knee. Slowly stretch that left knee over just a little bit, keeping the left foot on the inside of that right leg, or maybe put your heel on top of the leg, but try not to cross it over. Imagine that your left hip is pulling back and down into the floor while you gently press into that knee. Exhale from the throat. When you're ready, release. Other side, right knee in, right knee over, keeping the foot on the inside of that left leg or heel on top of the thigh. Push down into your right hip and press over with that right knee. Those are the opposite energies. You have one energy pulling down and back, and you have the other energy pulling over and forward. Exhale from the throat. Let's slowly take the feet down. Go ahead and step those feet out as wide as they will go. Just a nice wide open stance with the knees. And then let those knees sway over to the right. And this time it's going to be a bigger stretch, a bigger twist. And hopefully we're feeling most of that stretch in the front of the left hip, going all the way down to the left knee. These are the muscles that lay over the abdomen, stomach, and intestines. We want those muscles to loosen up. That way food and other debris can move with ease down through the intestinal tract. Let's take in a big breath around your heart. Pull the left shoulder down to the floor while the knees twist to the right. When you're ready, bring those knees through center. Let the knees sway over to the left. Maybe lifting that right hip up a little bit, pressing the right shoulder down. Feeling for that stretch now that goes maybe from your right rib to the right hip, all the way down to your right knee. There's a big line of energy that we're opening here. In fact, this right side, we're loosening up the muscles that lay over the liver. So we're loosening up the muscles that can help us to absorb iron and also to release iron, giving us usually a little more energy, feeling more alert. When you're ready, let's bring those knees to center. Walk the knees into hips width again. Let's press the palms down beside us. Inhale, press the hips up into bridge. Warming up the legs, holding it here. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Press down into the feet and imagine you're pulling your heels back. You're going to dig those heels down into your yoga mat and then gently pull back with that heel dig. Squeeze the gluteus muscles or buttocks muscles and then press in with the thighs. Let's look straight up at the ceiling. Hold it there, building strength and stabilizing the energy of the pelvis. Big inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower. Find the exhale, letting that exhalation gently bring us down into the ground. Let's raise both arms up and overhead again. All of us moving into that position where we're reaching towards the ceiling as if you're going to climb a rope. Reach up with the left hand, pull that left shoulder blade off the floor, and now relax it down. Reach up with the right hand, pull that arm up. You can even hold on to your wrist and encourage a little more stretch. And now bring it down. Now let's give ourselves a big hug. So bring the arms over and just notice if you have the right arm or the left arm on top. Walk those fingertips back to your shoulders. Pull the shoulders off the ground. Breathe into the sides of your lungs, under the armpit area. On an inhale, open the arms up like a T, stretch out, palms up, big stretch. Reach through the fingertips. When you're ready, exhale, let's move into that big hug. Switch out your dominant arm. Again, moving into that big embrace of the body. Breathe into the side ribs. When you're ready, open up, big stretch, palms facing up. From here, let's slowly lower the hands. Let your body go ahead and roll over onto one side. Let's draw the knees in really close, curling up into a little bitty ball. We are opening up the kidneys and the adrenal glands. So essential to digestion and elimination processes is being able to flush out various fluids in the body through the kidneys. Also helping to flush out different stress hormones here. Let's just breathe deep into the low back. When you're ready, use the top arm down on the floor. Maybe even look at that supporting hand. And let's slowly begin to press up, using our hands to come up into seated with our legs extended in front of the body. Coming into a seated staff position. We're seated nice and tall with the legs extended. Let's check in with the hip and the low back alignment. So notice if you feel like you're leaning back or if you're kind of rolling back through your low back. If we're rolling back, this is a sign that maybe the body wants a little bit more support. So to give that support, number one, maybe put something under the hips and sit on the edge. Number two, maybe bend the knees. And as we bend the knees, sometimes what happens is the legs are straight, it pulls on the back. So when we bend the knees, it helps us to come forward a little more and to sit a little taller. Let's go ahead and make sure that we feel that we have the safest expression of this seated staff in our bodies before we start to move. So as we continue to check in and refine our alignment, maybe let's face forward, lower the chin, close your eyes. Taking a few big breaths here. On an inhale, let's extend both arms overhead. Reaching high through the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down and maybe turn the fingertips back. Reaching back, fingertip flight. Pull forward and up through your heart as if you're going to do a seated cow pose. Let's open the throat. Pressing the shoulders down towards the hips, feeling a contraction along the back waistline. You might even want to think about having a piece of ice slipped down the back of your shirt, and that sensation of surprise, that element of doing just a little bit of a surprise breath. Shoulder blades pull back, pinching together those muscles behind the heart, shoulders pressed down, contracting middle back muscles, taking a big breath into the chest and heart. Pull up through the sternum. Naturally, when we inhale, we will get a little more length in the spine. Inhale, allowing the lungs to create a nice, lean expression of the pose in your upper back. Let's do one more, big inhale. And now exhale, lead with your heart. Let those hands come forward, either to your thighs or shins. And notice what happens when we relax, letting go of any impulse to force a stretch forward. Instead, just noticing, where does the body go naturally, all on its own, with this gentle flexion. On an inhale, we'll lift up about halfway and we'll lengthen the spine. So you're pulling your ribs forward and up. Very gentle. Exhale, relax down. So what we're doing here in its essence is creating a small abdominal contraction at the top of the intestines. So as food works its way down into the belly, we're starting our massage today with the upper intestines, and then we're moving down. Inhale, lengthen, gently lengthen, pull the ribs forward and up. And on the exhale, gently relax down. Let's try this maybe 2 or 3 more times. Inhale, relax the head, lengthen, maybe lift the chin. Exhale, relax your chin, your ribs, head and neck. Just one more time. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, soften. As we hold it here with the head and the neck relaxed, start to reach your fingertips towards your feet. And of course, if the feet or the toes feel accessible, you can hold on and maybe even add just a little bit of an elbow bend. The same effects in this stretch can be achieved by placing your hands under your thighs and knees, and you would just pull back on the knee and the thigh, not up, back, pull back, and it'll bring the body forward. Now go ahead and exhale from your throat. Inhale, big exhale. One more. From here, let's slowly come up. Bring both knees in. Let's take our feet out wide and take the hands down to the floor. So we'll move this into a pretty big seated twist today. We moved from the upper ribs. Now we're moving into the lower intestines and the lower rib area. Let's take our knees to one side. Remember, only go as far as your back is in agreement with this. Bring the knees to center. Bring them to the other side and maybe look in the opposite direction. So we begin to introduce this twist from the hips all the way up into the upper ribs. We can have both hands on the floor or stay fingertip light with this. We're doing just a few to each side. So it's just enough movement to loosen up any matter that might have been previously lodged. We're getting everything to work its way down. Let's do one more to each side. When it feels evened up on left and right for you, go ahead and let those knees roll to one side. Let's come around into all fours for cat and cow flow. I'm using my fist today for weight bearing. I like to change it up every once in a while. Of course, many of you know that you can come down onto your elbows if that is more comfortable, or you can be on a flat hand. And We generally say you want a straight line, the elbow, the shoulder, and the wrist in a straight line, or elbow and shoulder in a straight line. However, if there's any pain with this, go ahead and readjust your hands a little more forward or back. Let's be sure that the body is as comfortable as possible so that we can concentrate on the organs. From wherever you are, exhale, and on that exhale, pull the tailbone under, drop your head, and push into your hands or elbows to really round the spine, exaggerating that rounding of the spine. On our inhale, let's flip the hips back, pull the ribs forward, press the shoulders towards the hips, just like we did before, and open the throat a tiny bit. Exhale, belly up, tailbone curling down, rounding through the spine. Inhale, and then exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale into cow, stretching the lungs, opening the body. Exhaling into cat. Let's inhale into cow and hold cow pose. From here, lift your right foot away from the floor and maybe point the toe on that right foot for now. Let's press up as we inhale, opening up the front of that hip, and then exhale, round your spine, bring the right knee towards your right elbow. Inhale, press it up. If it's more comfortable, you could bring that right knee on the outside of your elbow. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, either knee straight in or knee out to the side. Let's do one more. Inhale, open. Exhale, knee to the side or knee straight in. Inhale, open. Exhale, relax. Press back, either child's pose, or go ahead and take this into maybe your first down dog of the day. From wherever you are with this, you're welcome to maybe pedal through the soles of your feet in a walk the dog type movement, or we could always do a nice alternating runner's type lunge for the back of the legs instead. When you're ready, let's all meet with our knees down, reset those hips in child's pose, Balasana pose. Exhale from the throat. On an inhale, let's come forward, setting up our foundation for those big hip openers with a belly contraction. Inhaling into our expression of cow. Let's lift the left foot and maybe point the toe. Inhale, press up through the toe, opening up that hip. Exhale, bring the left knee towards the left elbow, gently contracting the abdomen. Inhale, take it out. You could keep coming straight in or take that knee out to the side, left knee to the outside of the left elbow. Inhale, taking it back. Exhaling, bring the knee in, contract in or out to the elbow. Inhale out, last one, option to take it to the outside of that elbow or draw it straight forward. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, lower down, reset, either child's pose or downward facing dog again, allowing your body to guide you in the practice, listening to the low back, listening to your blood pressure. If your heart is beating really fast, maybe stay in child's pose. From either your down dog or child's pose, let's think about how we might want to make our way to standing. We can always start inching our feet forward or take a few steps to the top of the mat. Hang out for a second, maybe walk those hands up onto your thighs so that we're able to support the spine and reduce any irritation to our blood pressure. When you're ready, slowly make your way up all the way into standing. All right. From standing, let's take our feet out to the width of the hips to find a strong mountain foundation today. As we inhale, we'll sweep the arms up and overhead, big circles with their arms. Let's lace the fingers together and invert the palms. Press those arms up overhead in the palm gesture. Lean over to the right. Maybe gaze to the right. Pull up from that left armpit. And now bend the left knee. So we're going to get a big opening on the left side of the body. You could always lower the arms if this is uncomfortable on the shoulder. This is creating a deep contraction along the right waistline. So maybe think about pressing that right shoulder down towards your right hip and then pull the left shoulder up away from the left hip. Big inhale. Exhale, bring it through center. Relax the hands. Let's open to a chest expansion, lacing the hands together. Inhale, pull up through the heart. Neutral with that back bend to reset the spine, opening the throat. Exhale. Inhale around the heart. Big exhale. When you're ready, come to center. Spine reset might still feel very different from left to right already though. Let's inhale the arms up and overhead. Lace those fingertips. Let's invert the palms. Press it up towards the sky, only angling those arms and shoulders as much as our body says it's in agreement with it. Let's lean to the left this time, bending that left elbow, pressing our left shoulder down towards the left hip. Pull up from the right armpit and rib. Let's look to the left. Gentle stretch goes all the way up to the neck. Bending our right knee, that right hip is dropping down away from the armpit and the ribs. Inhale into that upper right lung. Exhale, soften. Exaggerate the breath in the nose. Exhale. One more. Big breath in. Bring it through center. Let the hands come behind you. Chest expansion. Neutralizing the spine. Let's roll those shoulders down and back, stretching the muscles that lay over the heart and lungs. Inhale, pull up through the ribs, stretching the muscles over the belly and intestines. Let's open the chin, open the throat. Exaggerate the inhale, exaggerate the exhale. Exhale with a sigh now and then. Make that breath audible. One more. Right, from where you are, take the feet out to about the width of your yoga mat. We're moving into a very conservative expression of side angle and triangle pose today. This more subtle expression hopefully means less of a leg stretch, more of a trunk or intestinal stretch today. So I'm not using a yoga mat today, but if I was, I would say my feet probably would have my big toes on the mat, but then the outer edge of my feet might be off the mat today. So it's a little more than hips width. Take both your toes forward to start with this foundation. Let's look down. Keeping the heels anchored, we're simply lifting the right toes. Pivot on the heel, turning your right toe out. So you'll have your right toes facing out and your left toes forward. The feet are perpendicular. From here, let's bend that left knee, and then we're gonna flip back into that left hip. Let's take our right hand onto the right thigh, and your left hand stays at the waist. So we want to keep those shoulders relaxed as much as possible. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Now on an inhale, think about swiveling at your waist. So you're turning your heart up towards the ceiling. Gently rotating that left shoulder back. Maybe open the right hand, press the hand into the leg or the leg into the hand. Perhaps just ever so subtly intensifying the sensations through the trunk of the body. Let's take our left hand away from the waist, turn the palm towards me as if you were going to wave at me, and then maybe bend that elbow a little bit, lifting that left arm, taking it overhead with a deep bend in the elbow. As you inhale, pull up through that elbow. So we're creating a little bit of an arc or a soft shape in the side waist of the body. One more inhale. Exhale. Take the left knuckles to your low back. Working on that twist again, drawing that left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Let's straighten the right leg and maybe allow your tailbone and hips to kind of shift and twist back towards your left heel, left hip stretch. We may want to flatten our palm onto the right shin or thigh. We just want to make sure that we avoid any pressure of the hand on the kneecap. When you're ready, perhaps left arm straight up, big breath in, triangle pose. Not as big of an expression, and yet you still might be getting a really big stretch through the body. Big inhale and exhale. Exaggerate the in-breath. Pull that breath in through the nose, and then let it go. To come out of the pose safely, first, let's take that left hand to our hip. Maybe we look down at the right foot and bend the right knee. We might even want to bring that right hand onto the left leg and then walk the hands up slowly, turning our right toe forward and then the left toe out. Let's take our time to switch sides. A little bend in that left knee. From here, take the hips back, letting the energy swing back into that right hip. So this movement, swinging into that hip with that little contraction, we just practiced that movement. We are squeezing the liver here. Let's take our left hand onto the left thigh, keeping that right hand on the hip. We might begin to descend slowly with the breath, drawing that right shoulder back. We're turning the heart up towards the sky. Option to keep a deep bend in that right elbow as we lift the arm. It's almost like you're going to yawn, that expression of pulling back and then lifting up through the arm. A little more length through the side body. Reach with that right hand. Inhale as you open. Exhale, maybe one more. If you want, open up that left hand on the inside of your leg. Let's take our right hand knuckles to the low back, drawing the shoulder back again. Option to straighten the left leg, and maybe we put that left hand on the thigh, bypass that kneecap, no pressure on the knee. Taking the left hand down to the left shin is an option. You can look up, you can look straight ahead, or you can look down at the floor. Looking down is perhaps the kindest expression here to the neck. Option to take that right arm straight up as if you were going to wave towards me. Big inhale. We're staying here at least 3 cycles of breath. Big inhale. And then exhale. 2 more. When you're ready, soften that left knee to safely come out. Let's bring the right hand down. Look down at the right foot. Right hand to the left thigh. Walking the hands up onto the thigh. Let's take our sweet time coming up into standing. Turn the left toe forward. And now we are meeting in our standing straddle. From here, press the hips back. Lead with your heart and lower straight down. We can always put the hands on our thighs or maybe on our shins. You could even reach and move the hands onto the floor if it's comfortable. Let's shake our head yes. Turn it left and right. Try a ha breath. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3. Ha. 2 more like that. Big breath in. 1, 2, 3. Ha. 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Ha. When you're ready, inch the feet in. Let's take our time. From forward fold, let's walk the hands to the shins, pause. Walk the hands up to the thighs, pause. Easy does it, especially as blood starts to circulate. Now slowly stand up. Good job. Let's shake off the feet, shake off your legs. So we have a little bit of a challenging twisting pose today. It is a standing posture with a twist. We are doing this pose from standing, and then we're going to do it seated, and then we're going to do it lying on the floor. So we're going to be able to kind of hit different muscles with the same body mechanics. To begin, I am standing using a wall for support. So I have my left hand touching the wall, and I'm going to, just for today, I'm lifting my inside leg. So I'm lifting my left leg. You're welcome to take your right hand and put it under that left leg for this twist. And what you might want to experiment with is taking your left hand and walking it behind you to move more into that upper body twist. So I'm turning towards my prop or towards the wall today. Of course, if you had a yoga strap, you could put this around your foot. You could even stretch the leg out. The main thing is that we are working on that twist through the upper abdomen. At any time, we can always experiment with taking our hand away from the prop, either straight back behind you or by the hip. We're holding here, breathing into the upper lung region. 1 more. Let's take our time to slowly come out of that twist. When you're ready, we're moving into the other side. So I have my right hand touching the wall. I'm lifting my right leg, and I'm holding on with my left hand under my right leg for support. When you're ready, start twisting towards your prop or towards your support. It could be a chair. We're holding it here, breathing into the upper chest, into the upper lungs. Big inhale and exhale. We have about 3 more big breaths here. Exaggerate that inhale. Standing tall. Push into that standing foot. So we're keeping length alongside that supporting pillar of strength in the body. 1 more inhale and exhale. Go ahead and come out of the pose, shake off your feet. Let's shake off the hands, roll out the wrist. All right, from here we are coming down to the floor to do the twist from a seated position this time, and it can feel very different. So please take your time coming down to the floor. It is suggested that you hinge from the hips, maybe use some sort of a chair or means of support to slowly come down and then make your way around into seated. So our body practiced a lot of stretching already this morning from seated staff position. We are using that position again for our seated twist expression. Let's take the right leg out straight and then bend the left knee in. Take the right hand under the left leg, left hand behind you, and just gently allow yourself to go into that twist, looking over your left shoulder. We may want to close our eyes so we can find the breath in the upper left lung. Think about what's going on in the right foot. Activate that right foot. Maybe even turn your right big toe in so that if we were to look at our toes, our right big toe would be pointing straight up to the ceiling and pulling back towards our bellies. Let's stay here for 1 or 2 more breaths. When you're ready, slowly reposition the head and neck first. Let go with the hand and let's switch out the legs. Right knee bent. Left toes are active, big toe up to the ceiling, toe is pulling back, left hand under the right leg. And now twist over to the right, gentle through that rotation. You don't have to have pressure on your hand. It can be very gentle. Let's breathe into the upper right lung. Breathe into the upper right lung and shoulder. One more big breath in. When you're ready, slowly bring it around to center. All right, stretch out the legs. We are doing that same twist from lying on our backs. So let's take our time to lie down, roll over onto one side. Let's roll over onto our backs. All right, so from lying down, we may want to change the mechanics of it just a little bit as we've been building with all of these twists. We've been building more mobility. This might end up being the biggest stretch of the day for the spine. So we might want to approach it a little different. So in the approach, we can straighten our right leg, straighten your right leg down. And again, keep that foot really active. So we want to have a flat foot, toe pointed up towards the ceiling. Now to swivel this twist a little deeper, push into that left foot. And you're gonna do an active lift of your hips, just like if you're trying to turn over in bed and it's not a very graceful turn usually. You're gonna push, shift, and then pull that left knee over to the right. Try lifting your right shoulder off the floor a little bit, and you can drop your left shoulder down more. It is common for the left shoulder to come up just a little bit. Let's look over the left shoulder, breathe into the upper chest. Allowing the expansion of the lungs to create those gentle compressions into the organs and into the spine to help with the detox. We're going to allow the breath to work its magic, putting less and less of our own will or effort into the practice. Just let the lungs do the work. One more inhale. Let's slowly bring our gaze to neutral. And now knees and feet to neutral, bending the right knee, both feet on the floor. Let's straighten our left leg, flat foot, straight out, toe is up towards the ceiling. Active shift and swivel now. Push into the right foot. Lift the hips. Use your left hand to draw that leg over. Maybe we look up or maybe we look to the right. If you're looking to the right, that rotation is tapping into what we call a spiral line of energy. Close your eyes and notice the breath. Notice its movement in the upper heart and chest. One more big inhale. When you're ready, let's slowly position the head to neutral, head and neck. And now release any tension in the body. Having both knees bent, both feet on the floor. Let's reset that low back with bridge. Pressing the palms down outside the hips, we push into our feet and squeeze the glutes to get a nice big lift. This is where it all began today. Breathe into your chest, breathe into the middle part of your belly, breathe down into the hips, dig down into the heels, squeeze the knees in. Imagine you have a yoga block between the knees. Dig down into the heels, squeeze the buttocks muscles, pull the heels back. Big inhale, press up. And now exhale, let everything come down. Easy does it. You can hug the knees in, counter stretch to all of that tension in the back. Give your body a minute or so to get comfortable. Let's move into our final meditation and relaxation portion of the class. Grabbing pillows, blankets, aromatherapy, light a candle. From wherever you are, establish a point where you're able to have as much comfort as possible. And maybe we aren't necessarily still the whole time, but we're getting as comfortable as possible. Remember, you can move at any time, especially if you're noticing that your body is cramping up or getting kind of achy. You do not have to lie down for this portion of the class. You're more than welcome to sit up. To begin, let the hands come out beside you with the palms facing up. Let the hands move just slightly away from your body. So for some of us, slightly away may be interpreted as maybe just an inch or two away from the body. And for some of us, we may just notice that we feel good taking the hands out like a big T or even over your head. No matter where you are, just simply work first with getting comfortable with the palms up. This is essential as it helps to open the chest and ever so passively strengthen the upper back muscles, improving posture, preventing issues like scoliosis and rounding in the back. From wherever you are, draw awareness to your breath. And as you inhale, you count to yourself in your mind, 1, 2, 3, hold, 3, 2, 1, and now release your breath. Let's try that again. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, hold, 3, 2, 1, release. Let's keep that steady rhythm with the breath, inhaling for a count of 3, exhaling, 3, 2, 1, relax the whole body. Tune into that space, into that gap after the inhale. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. You can hold it here for a really long time or just let the breath go. Just notice what feels right for you without having to be told what kind of breath to do. Tune into an intimate and organic intelligence with your body. Notice what you're feeling in your heart and in your lungs. How long does it feel right to hold the breath? Does it feel right for you to hold the breath at all? When we hold the breath, really short holds can create a sense of more energy in the body. Really long holding patterns can create more calm, more peace in the body. And of course, we can always maintain seamless breathing if that's what gives us a healthy baseline. No matter where you are with this, continue to work on breathing in through the nose, keeping the lips together as you exhale from your throat. A little bit of air is going to move up and out from the nose as well as the throat. Let's continue to work with that breath, work with that moment after the exhale. What do we notice after the exhale? Is it time to pause? Is it time to let go? Just noticing. There's no right or wrong. Let's take a quiet minute to work with that. Now go ahead and let go of any counting, let go of any gaps with that breath, and maybe just allow yourself to be still for a moment. What is it to embrace stillness? Noticing any impulse to move, what happens when we don't react to the impulse? What happens when we start to notice a sensation and then we stop for a moment to consciously decide what we do with that? From that place of awareness, do we act? Do we act by moving? Do we act by watching? Do we act by breathing through it? From this place of awareness, we are prepared in mind, body, and spirit to move out through the day with a more steady and peaceful state of consciousness, less reactive. Let's take in a few deep breaths to awaken the physical body. And if you know that you have time to stay where you are, stay here a little longer. For those of you that maybe have a busy schedule today, we have been practicing about 1 hour. If you know that you're getting up, take your time, wiggle your fingers and toes, roll to your side, maybe stretch a little before you sit up. From here, we can close together, bringing our hands to the heart or over the chest. This is where it all began. Breathing into the heart space, seeing that bright green energy of the heart, the energy of love. Draw in a deep breath and let it go with a sigh. I thank you all so much for being here today with me. I hope you all have an extraordinary Thanksgiving week with your family. I will see you next week. Namaste, everybody.